Hello, I'm Professor Toybox. I've got Merida with me, and we're back in my Arendelle toy box, where I'm creating a winter festival. Today I'm going to build a shooting gallery carnival game. If you've seen my Disneyland toy box video, then you've already seen a version of this. What I'm going to build today will be similar to the shooting gallery in Frontierland. If you shoot a certain number of targets, you earn a prize, namely a random toy that you can take with you as you explore and play in this toy box. I like to put a shooting gallery like this in some of my toy boxes, particularly the ones that have a wide variety of games and rides. It adds a lot of fun. We haven't done much with the castle yet, so I'm going to go ahead and put the shooting gallery in here. But first, you might be wondering how we're going to get inside this castle. The gates, unfortunately, don't work. They're just decorative. I guess the designers who built Toy Box Speedway, where this gate comes from, decided they didn't need the door to open for their race, and that's too bad, so we'll need some other way to get in and out of the castle. Fortunately, there are several options available to us, and the simplest, I think, is a couple of teleporters. So I'm going to put those down, and we'll put one on this side of the gate, and we'll put another one on that side of the gate. And that'll give us a way into the castle. It may not be something you'd expect to find in Arendelle, but it works, and since I'm running low on memory, that'll have to do. I've already taken the liberty of moving the sound generator over here from the biathlon that we set up last time, because I plan to reuse that. And so we'll go ahead and put the shooting gallery over here. And the first thing I want to do, just really quickly, is to throw down some of these railings. And this is going to tell us where the player has to shoot from. So I'll put a few of these down. And we'll put the targets over on that far wall. And I'd like them to be moving targets. So we're going to go ahead and add a path and put the targets on a path. So I've got the Path Creator tool here. And I've kind of measured this out where it should go already, but we're going to put the first point here. And then I'm going to go up 2 spaces and over 3. And then we'll come over 2 more, and 2 more, and down here. And then over 2 more, back up. There we go. I'm just consulting my notes to make sure I get this right. And 1, 2, 3. We'll put this down about the same height as the point on the other side. And now we'll go ahead and put the return points opposite of where the first ones were. And there we go. Now we'll exit, come into Spark mode, and we'll come over to the Path tool. And under Properties, I'm going to set this to be looped. And I do not want to auto start the objects when connected because I got several of them I'm going to attach. And I don't want them moving while I'm trying to connect and set their properties. So there's the path where our targets are going to go. Now we need some targets. So I'll come over to the Target tool. And when I attach these, as I've mentioned before, they'll connect to the path, but wherever I drop them down, the bounding box is still going to be here, and it'll prevent the player from running through there. So I'm going to drop these underneath the terrain for right now, and I'm going to put down 4 of these. And we'll go ahead and connect the first one to the path. So new path connection. We'll come up to the Path tool and Toy Box Path, and that connects our target to the path. And now we'll set the target path properties, and the default speed is fine. The reset point, I've got 4 targets, so I'm going to use the reset points of 0, 25, 50, and 75. So I'm going to set this one to be 75. and that'll move this one to the furthest point along the track. There we go. And everything else in here looks fine. Movement style is set to loop. There we go. Very good. And while I'm right here, well, we're not ready to do that just yet. Sorry. Let's do one thing at a time. Okay, so now we'll connect the next target to the path. If I can get up here to select it, there we go. So new path connection. And now unfortunately, when I come over here to the path, you'll notice it didn't put that at the 75 reset point where I had put it. So when I drop the next one down, it's actually sitting right on top of that one. So in order to get those to move where I can get to them and set their properties, we're going to put down a couple of buttons. And these will just be temporary. First one, I'm going to set when pressed to come into the path tool. And we're going to reset and stop. And the second one, when pressed, we will reset and play. And we'll use that for our testing. So now if we come out over here, come to the reset button, you see the one target moved, and now the other one, I can get to it. Otherwise, I wouldn't know which one I was editing. So for this one, the reset point will be 50. And come back over to the button. Push the button, and now you can see that one's moved. So there's two of them. We need two more. New path connection. Oops. Properties, toy box path, and we'll set this one to be 25. I like to do 0 last. That just makes it easier, I think, when I'm resetting these things. If I did 0 first, then it would be sitting over there, and resetting wouldn't move it, so I still wouldn't be able to get to the other target that I put down. New path connection, and this one will be easy because I don't have to set any properties. This one's already set to 0 by default. So there we go. So reset shouldn't do anything because that one's still set to 0, and if we hit play, there's our moving targets. So now we want to do something as you shoot these to earn our prize. So we're going to need a few other creative toys. First of all, I'm going to put down an object generator, and this will be the prize that we win. Next, I'm going to need a counter. And I'll put that right here for right now. And I think that's everything. We'll start with the counter, I guess. So properties for the counter. We can set the target count to be anything. I would normally set this to 10, but for testing purposes, we'll leave it set at 2. Visible display on is good. we want it to reset to 0, and when we've reached the target count, we'll go ahead and automatically reset this counter. That's good. So the new logic connection, when the target is reached, we're going to come over to the object generator and give them a random toy. And the other thing I would like to do is when the target is reached, come over to the sound generator. There we go. A lot of connections on that, so it's a little bit slow. And we're going to play a drum roll, just for something a little different. And for the targets, here we go. So for each target, when it's hit, we're going to come over to the counter, and we're going to increment the counter by 1. And when the target is hit, we'll let the player know that it was hit by playing a sound. And I'm going to use the same ding sound that I always use for this. I just really like that target sound. And there we go. And we'll do that for each of these targets. And I'll do that offline here in a moment. The other thing that we're going to want to do is hook up the level starter. Since those buttons are just there temporarily for testing, I want to come back over this way where I had set up a level starter before for the ski slalom. And on the level starter, the catalyze option is triggered when the level first finishes loading and we start the toy box. We'll come back over here to the castle, to the shooting gallery, and we'll connect this to the path creator tool, and we'll hit reset and play. So when we enter the level, those will start moving. So now I'm going to go ahead and go offline and connect up the other 3 targets so I don't waste your time on this, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back, and I've got the shooting gallery targets all hooked up. So each of the targets is now incrementing the counter by 1 and connecting to the sound generator to play a ding sound. And so I think we're ready to test this out. And so I'm going to come back out here, and we'll go ahead and start the shooting gallery. And I left the counter set at 2, so I only have to hit 2 targets. There's 1, there's 2. There we go, and there's our toy. So now we've got Buzz Lightyear's jetpack. So this way you can earn some extra little toys and things that just kind of make it fun to play in the toy box. And since they're randomly awarded, then it's a little different every time. And you just never know what you're going to get, which makes it kind of fun to replay this toy box each time. And we just earned ourselves another toy. It looks like the Sword in the Stone. Whoop. Guess it doesn't automatically replace what you have. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video on how to build a shooting gallery carnival game. It's pretty simple to build, and it adds a lot of fun to your toy boxes. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel or sign up on my blog to see what we do next time in this series. You can find build tips and logic diagrams on my blog as well for the different toy boxes and challenges that we make. And for now, Merida and I are signing off from Arendelle, and we'll see you next time.